What is going on, guys? Today we are back with another video, very exciting video, getting super jacked up for spring fishing season here and to be catching some walleyes in Northwoods. But I want to interrupt this video before we get it going here. We do have a bunch of new clothing stuff out, which is very exciting. You guys are always asking for a whole bunch of different clothing stuff. I wasn't sure what to make, what to do and stuff like that. I don't think I'm cool enough for my name to be all over a shirt, so we had a better idea, which was basically take some of my favorite fishing phrases and basically make them like a short little series of clothes we're gonna do. So this is gonna be the Find 'em, Catch 'em series. 2 words or a phrase that we use every single day on the water, the logical process. Every time you step foot in the boat, you gotta find them before you can catching them. And this channel is all about the finding of them and hopefully bettering you guys at finding them. So without further ado, we have 3 shirts out or 3 designs out in the Find 'em, Catch series. This is the sweatshirt right here. Each design is gonna come in both a sweatshirt and a short sleeve shirt, depending on what you want. Great quality products, I've ordered them all, and very good materials, very comfortable, very nice stuff overall. Nothing's worse than getting a shirt and then ordering it, getting it to your house, and it just sucks. These shirts are very nice shirts, and we have several different designs, like I said, and we have all the Find 'em, Catch 'em logoing on here. And if you guys ever want to support this channel, this is a great way to do it right here, to keep me out there making more videos. And I greatly appreciate all you guys who watch this every day and support this channel by buying a shirt. It really does mean a lot that you guys allow me to do what I do every day. So I greatly appreciate that. And if you guys want to check out any of this stuff, it's all linked down below. There should also be a banner that runs across just below this video. Get on there and pick up some shirts. It's greatly appreciated. So thanks for that little sales pitch. Now on to the video. What is going on, guys? Today we are back with another video. Very exciting day. Are we going fishing per se today? Probably not. It is a dark, gloomy, rainy, partial rain, partial snow day up here in northern Wisconsin.
But today is Boys Day, which means
Boys Day,
shopping day. Shopping day for boys, right?
Boys shopping day. So we're gonna go to the only place you go for a boys shopping day, and that is we're on the road down in New Richmond, Wisconsin, to go to Warner's Dock. And I bought pretty much all my boats there. Alumacraft dealer. They obviously deal in marine electronics as well. And we got a bunch of new fish finding toys that are gonna go on my boat, which I'm very excited to use. And the main reason I'm very excited to use them is not per se to catch more fish, but to show you guys and get you much better video content. We are here, we have arrived. We are at Warner's Dock down here in New Richmond, Wisconsin, and we are here to pick up some fish finding goodies.
Also, I thought it was time to upgrade my boat, so we're picking up a new boat.
No, he's not picking up a new boat. He's got a just fine Alumacraft tiller. But yeah, we're down here, like I said, at Warner's Dock, New Richmond, Wisconsin, here to pick up some fish finding goodies, and very excited about it. Nothing better to do on a rainy day than this. And I will say this, if you guys have any questions on a lot of this, you know, whether it's 360, whether it's live, whether it's how to rig your boat, whether it's you're buying a boat, and you got questions, absolutely give these guys a call down here in New Richmond, Wisconsin. They deal with a lot of fishermen. They have a ton of experience. They're guys in the service department rigging boats to get them exactly how you want them. So that's what we're doing today. Like I said, we're picking up some of this fish finding goodies. So we're going to take a walk inside to one of my favorite places on earth, and maybe we'll check out a couple of boats. Maybe we'll pick up some goodies and be on our way home to hopefully rig some stuff up and catch some fish.
What's up, guys?
How's it going? Appreciate it.
Ballon full of goodies. Let's see your purses.
Sell it for 3 times a week.
The value just came up this spring, didn't it?
Yeah. Thank you. Whoa, we are all out of focus. What is going on, guys? Well, I skipped a few steps. I was gonna film the install, but I'm already out here. I already did it myself and figured it out, but I figured I would kind of show you guys basically what I did, how I mounted it, and all that kind of good stuff here.
And I went with a universal mount. A lot of guys will mount the 360 units on their trolling motors. Being that I do not have a cable steer, I kind of wanted it also on a universal mount so I could kind of position it around the boat where I wanted it. But I had to come up with some kind of adapter. And I'm waiting on a Trax Tech mount, which should make this a little bit better. But for the time being, this seems pretty solid. So basically what I did here, I took a couple of Alumatrack brackets right here, which are sliding brackets. I mounted 2 of them, and then I took some 1/4 inch aluminum, base plated them to right here, 2 of the brackets, and then I put the Geiger Tech universal mount that comes with the 360 on there, and this is basically the finished product right here. This is the transducer. Obviously the 360 units come on this extendable pole like this. If you're going to run a trolling motor on a trolling motor, you would not need it this long. But I'll kind of switch over to the GoPro here so you guys might be able to see what I'm doing here a little bit better. I forgot my camera tripod today, but basically what we're going to do, and you could do this so it lays in the boat, you know, or whatever, but I'm going to undo this little guy right here. I'm going to put that in perfectly perpendicular to the water so it's sitting at the right angle down there. And there we go. Now we're fishing and now we're using this thing, right? I probably do not need it as far down in the water as it currently is. These Geiger Tech mounts, I'm really impressed with just how high quality these are, number one. But you can unscrew this, you can lift this up higher if you want, or you can obviously send it down farther like that. So it all goes together very, very well. Now for my graph setup, for the time being, I added an additional graph just for 360, and I did that mainly so I can kind of do some more videos just focused on that, or just focused on side imaging, so I don't have to devote, I can have one graph that's devoted for filming the graph, which is something I definitely want to do a lot more. So this is kind of the setup for now. Like I said, the main reason I wanted this thing movable is I can just take this right off the boat, number one, or number two, I can slide it around like this. I got more cable in here, so if I wanted to run it up front and get it totally out of the way, I definitely could. But for right now, I'm just kind of keeping it mounted right by my graphs. And yeah, that's kind of the deal, I guess, on the mounting side of things. Now, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna play with this thing. We're gonna drive around a little bit, look at some stuff, see what we see, and I'm not gonna take any casts just because it's not walleye season, and I feel like all the fish up here on this flat are probably gonna be walleyes. So we're not even gonna fish for them, but we're gonna do a little bit driving around. I'll show you some screenshots and basically where I really see this thing excelling. All right, so we're up here on one of these flats right now. I forgot my tripod, so you guys are just gonna have to deal with this bizarre camera angle here, but Surly's even gonna mess with the camera. Surly, don't mess with the camera, but we're spot locked right now, and there's definitely some fish around us, right? So with side imaging, the main thing we do most of the time is, you know, we kind of cruise through an area real slow. We'll see the fish, we'll waypoint the fish, we'll try to spot lock upwind of them. Great way to catch fish, been doing it for many years, and it's just super efficient to fish that way. Obviously with 360, it reads in a circle, right? That is the whole deal. And so if these fish are behind me, if they're in front of me, if they're quartering this way, if they're at my, 7 o'clock, I'm gonna see these fish. And we're spot locked on top of a sand flat right now, and what we're looking at is fish kind of surrounding the boat, right? So previously, you would have pulled into a spot, you would have seen those fish behind you, and you'd know to cast backwards. Now, what I used to do is I used to swing the boat sideways to get that side imaging to read those fish. Now I could see those fish without moving around. I could see a little pot of fish over here. I can see we'll throw up a screenshot. I can see a little pot of fish over here, and some over here, right? So I could see fish that are all around me. My casting angle is no longer like where I got confidence there's probably fish, but it's where there is fish, no matter which direction they are, right? So basically, as I sit here and work this pot of fish, I'm gonna know to, like, maybe that pod starts right where I knew they were, which is right behind me. Catch a few of them. Maybe I sit here and all of a sudden I'm not seeing them back there, and I see a pod over here. Now I know to cast this way. It's taking a lot of the guesswork out of knowing exactly where that pod of fish is, or where those loosely scattered pods of fish are, which is a lot of time what you see on sand flats. So now I'm gonna kind of turn the trolling motor up a little bit, and we're gonna kind of blast through some of this flat, and we'll see what we see here. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that when this screen refreshes, it refreshes in this circular shape. So it's not like side imaging where you're scrolling. This refreshes like this. So if you're moving very quickly, what might happen is you might see a fish here, and then you might see a fish here, and then you might see a fish here, right? Because you're naturally moving. All right, so right now we got some fish in front of us. I'm gonna go ahead and spot lock. I'll take a screenshot for you guys. Now, when I first marked these fish, they were right here. Now the wind's kind of coming from like this, so what I'm assuming is as we shift here, The next time we see these fish, they're gonna be more so like out in here. All right, so I'm gonna take another screenshot for you. Now what you're gonna see is those fish are they kind of broke up a little bit, not as many of them as there were, and they're kind of in my outer perimeter out here at about 60 feet. Now I can definitely crank this up to see farther, but a lot of times these screenshots are a lot poppier and a lot better at some of these slower speeds. So I'll kind of throw up a few of these other screenshots I've taken here. Here's some fish sitting just outside of a rock line. You can see the rock right here, and you can see these fish scattered off the kind of out off the tip, just laying in the sand, right? And these are things that you just, with side imaging, if you're only running that perpendicular off the back of the boat thing, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be more guesswork, basically. This is going to take the guesswork out of exactly where those fish are at a given time as they kind of move around a piece of structure. If they never moved, all you need is side imaging, right? You could see them, you could waypoint them, you could spot lock, you could cast at them. But unfortunately, yes, the fish do move. And this is going to be absolutely killer for fishing a lot of these sand flats this time of year, where these fish are just kind of constantly roaming around. So another thing which is going to be super killer for this, I'm going to take us off side imaging. I'm going to start scrolling, or start trolling here at about 1.5 miles an hour. Like, let's say we're pulling spinner rigs for a second. Well, what I might do is I might take this and I might turn it to, you can change the display to either a circle, you can show it leading forward like we're about to do here. So now what I'm looking at is I'm looking forward and all around me, basically 60 feet in every direction. Let's say I'm doing something, like I said, like something where I'm looking for like specific pieces of structure. Like, let's say I'm either, you know, pitching jigs to a weed line or to timber, or let's say, like I said, I'm trolling spinner rigs and I'm staying on a weed line. Or in this scenario, we're about to see, because I got it waypointed here, but a crib's gonna come up in front of us. Now, you would have no idea this crib was here if you weren't running this or didn't already know where it was. And you should here shortly be starting to see it here one of these times it pans around. And like I said, one thing I'm noticing is that you obviously get a fuller screen if you go to this you know, this type of setting. So right here, here's my crib. I'm moving at 2.5 miles an hour, or yeah, 2 miles an hour. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a screenshot for you. And you're gonna see this crib, it's quartering off my front. So let's say I spot lock for a second. Let's say I'm a bass guy and I wanna be fishing this crib. Well, now I know, like, hey, that thing is now, based on where I've moved to since I first saw it, right in front of the bow. And I'll kind of turn it back to 360 here. Let's say I wanna make repetitive casts to this crib. All right, so it's right in front of the bow right now, but I'm still moving. My bow is still shifting because of the fact that I just spot locked. So in a second here, we're gonna see where that crib ends up. And this is like a hypothetical. Let's say we wanna make a lot of casts at the same piece of structure here, right? All right, so that crib, we're pretty much spot lock stationary right now, is about at my 2 o'clock, right? My 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock. We'll wait till it refreshes one more time. And you can see it's a crib. It's obviously real boxy and square. So if I wanted to make a lot of casts to the same crib, I would just keep casting right there, because that crib is about 15 feet, 20 feet right there off that corner going that way. So super key for, you know, if you're a guy who likes to make a lot of repetitive casts. For me, this is going to be great for like fishing milfoil chunks. And when a lot of lakes where I'm fishing milfoil chunks, you know, really from May into June, July, a lot of times there might be a huge area like this with milfoil chunk, milfoil chunk, milfoil chunk, the size of the boat. Well, I can go through that area, creep with the trolling motor, get up on the bow if I want, and just make isolated casts to that real small area and do it all around me. You know, I'm never gonna have to get on side imaging and say, okay, that milfoil clump is 30 feet left. Now it's 50 feet that way, it's 80 feet that way, it's 70 feet over here, right? So it's gonna be great for doing a lot of the specific targeted structure type of fishing. All right, well, that was just a quick little wrap up on the new Mega 360. It's been out for a little while. Definitely a major tool, and I'm very excited to be fishing with it. Our inland walleye opener opens in like 4 days now. So very exciting stuff, and you guys are gonna see a ton of this 360 unit. It's just very powerful what it could do, and just in the brief amount of time I spent out there putting around, it's gonna be absolutely key for fishing a lot of these big flats that we're gonna fish early in the season. especially, you know, for casting at those isolated pods of fish or a specific piece of structure, or simply like, let's say you're slip bobbering a weed edge in July or something like that. It's gonna be, you know, you see those fish on side imaging, you spot lock up wind them, you pitch back to them like you've done a million times, and all of a sudden you're not catching any. Well, with the 360, you're gonna be able to say, okay, those fish went here, or okay, they're just not there anymore. Or you know, maybe off the bow is where the fish are now. So there's just a ton of applications for this thing, and I'm very excited to kind of bring a lot of that content and information to you guys. So kind of a quick little all over the place little video, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I appreciate everybody who considers buying some of the shirts. We always get asked, how can you support this channel? Buying shirts is a great way to support this channel, and I think it is some pretty cool wear as well, stuff to wear as well. So thanks for watching this video. If you're not yet, please subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. I'm gonna go home. I gotta get a bunch of stuff ready for this weekend, because this starts like the insane fishing every day, editing till midnight schedule pretty much this time of year. So stay tuned for more content, and hopefully you guys are catching some fish.